since I've had you guys in my studio, it's time to break down the first two games of the 2020 NFL playoffs. The Patriots losing and the Houston Texans coming back in a major way. Something I did not think was going to be possible after, the half. I was like, damn it, why did I pick Houston to win that game in my bracket? Why did I tell everybody else to pick them? I had lost faith. And boy, did Deshaun Watson tear it up. That was a fantastic slate of games for the first wild card wave. And then obviously we have tomorrow. But man, I'm excited. Don't forget, Monkey Knife Fight. Go to mkf.win/Smitty. Enter promo code Smitty at deposit time. And start playing DFS through Monkey Knife Fight. Let me throw that up on the screen real quick here. Just so you guys know. And then I've got a surprise for you. This is where you need to go. mkf.win/Smitty. Use promo code Smitty at deposit time. And I like a few things this week in the DFS world. Look at this right here. Look at this right here. This is what I would play. Saints, Drew Brees, 305. What do you guys think? Over, under. Drew Brees, can he throw for over 305? Cousins, less than 261. I'm going to say over for Drew Brees, 305. Under for Cousins, 261. And if you go to mkf.win/Smitty and enter promo code Smitty, they'll match up to $50 in your first deposit. This type of contest, $100 pays you $300. Get on over there to Monkey Knife Fight. So back on topic. Playoffs. Watson, amazing. I'm waiting. I've got a surprise for you. I'm waiting for RSF 49ers to go live on Instagram. I'm going to bring him into the YouTube world while he's live on his Instagram live, talking to his people, and we're gonna announce some things for his people. Kill the music, sure. Smitty, I'm in the top 100 for FanDuel and a chance to win 5K. Nice job, Nick. But you should be playing Monkey Knife Fight. What's wrong with you? Alex, what's up? Why are you crying? What's up, ugly dude? What's up, Nolan? What's up, Ramos? What's up, everybody? So glad to have you. Computer, how many yards did Deshaun Watson throw tonight?
Today, Deshaun Watson threw for 247 yards in the Texans' win over the Bills.
Computer, what was the score of the Patriots game today?
In the AFC wildcard today, the Titans beat the Patriots 20-13 at Gillette Stadium in Fox, Massachusetts.
Why didn't I pick the Titans? I kind of had a feeling this was going to be that year where it was like, okay, next year Brady's going to come in and going, okay, what do we got to do to change? Every once in a while the Patriots just tank right away. They don't have that feel, that they're going to do it that year. Sometimes they come in and then they win it anyways, or they do really well in the playoffs. But I had a feeling that it was going to be one of those where they come back next year, wrap up the season. They had such a good defense at the beginning of the year. It's crazy the turn that the Patriots took. But it just didn't feel like a team that could go all the way this year. I don't know. Not with Kansas City, not with the Ravens standing in their way. It just felt like this would have been the year to pick the Titans and just kind of get that bold prediction into your bracket. I regret not taking them, obviously, but looking back, it's like, you know what? The writing was kind of on the wall that if there was going to be an upset, it was going to be this one. Tannehill completed less than 10 passes. Yeah, but Derrick Henry looked like a beast. Who's worried about Derrick Henry in 2020, though? You got to be a little bit concerned about usage, getting hurt, but damn, how do you not take him in the top 5 in a redraft? But in Dynasty, I don't know. I have a little bit of concern, Dynasty-wise, that he wouldn't be in my top 5 to 7 in Dynasty. I'd probably rather throw in a couple of those young receivers in there with the running back mix that would be above Henry. But in redraft, is he 5? How do you not draft him 5? How do you factor in injury too much into the equation when he did really well this year and he stayed healthy? He's just such a big dude. It is really hard to imagine him staying healthy for 2 and 3 straight seasons. I'm waiting for Dr. Raj to go live on IG. When he goes live on IG, I will toss him on and we're going to talk about a league that you all know about, a little league called the Fantasy Showdown. And we're going to give away some seats to his crew. Yeah, Ramos, I'm a little worried about Henry. I'm not going to lie, but I'm also excited about him too. Like at the same time, like I'm not calling him a bust by any means. I'm just saying he's too big to run for 4 and 5 and 6 straight seasons of doing well. He's too big to probably run for 3. He might have one more really good 15, 16 game season in him where he's playing 15, 16 games. But I don't know, man. I'm just at a top 5 pick. How many top 5 players fall out, especially running backs, fall out of the top 5 the next year? A lot. I'd love to know the stats on that. I used to have that information, but it changes from year to year. So I don't know what it was. It was pretty crazy data like 2 years ago. I imagine it hasn't changed all that much because you factor in last year. Man, I don't know. This is gonna be a tough thing to wrestle with heading into 2020 drafts. Do you take Derrick Henry in the top 5? It's gonna be almost like one of those things where like you have to do it. You know, unless you're going Mike Thomas, I'm okay with Mike Thomas. Anybody goes Mike Thomas over Derrick Henry, I'm totally fine with that. If anybody wanted to go Alvin Kamara, I could understand not wanting to, and I could understand wanting to. So it's probably going to be a mixed bag for people. But I do think that you're going to be hard pressed to find anybody that doesn't have Derrick Henry at least below Mike Thomas and Kamara. If someone does want to rank Kamara there. Now, before you crap all over Kamara or before you support him, let's see what he does in this contest. There. Let's see what he does in his next contest to determine, just like we let Henry blow up, let's see if Kamara can blow up. If Kamara blows up, hold on a second. Let me make sure that. Is that volume okay, guys? Can you hear me okay? Is that all right? Let's see if Dr. Raj is ready to roll. Let me get a hold of him. So Dr. Raj is going to go live. We're going to watch him do his thing on his channel. I urge you all to follow him on Instagram. I have his handle right up at the top here, right here. RSF 49ers on Instagram. But I'm going to show you Dr. Raj in action. I'm going to have to ask him not to play any music because YouTube's a stickler about that. First time I've ever felt like I would take Henry over Kamara was tonight, says Ball is Life. I don't blame you. I am not going to tell anybody that Derrick Henry is a bust. I'm not going to do it. I refuse to. The guy looks like an animal, and you cannot predict injury. Predicting injury is a risky business. All I'll tell you is that I'm going to be okay with you taking Mike Thomas ahead of him. I'm going to understand. I'm not necessarily endorsing it yet. We've got to wait till Kamara plays, but because Kamara's got to play his game. He's been bouncing back, and I think if Kamara ends up looking amazing in this game, he's going to have multiple games in a row where he's kind of back on track. So it's going to be easy to say, hey, you know what? Kamara deserves to be thrown in the category of, this guy is going to return to form category. So we'll see what happens here. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. I'm trying to check off some things here on YouTube and hit save. 1 second for me. This is a Sunday Eve show. Yes, it is. Are we talking waiver wires? Yes, we will. NFL draft? Yes, we will. We'll be talking, what's up, Ari? We'll be talking 2020 rookies here shortly. So stand by. What's up, Ari? You got anything for me? 2020 rookies. Okay, let me just save that. Let's see if RSF 49ers is available. Hey, expert, if you're able to go live on Instagram as well, I'll toss you on, as well, if you're interested. All you got to do is go live on IG, and then I will put you live here on the show. We'll both be live. You'll be live in your world. I'll be live in one of my worlds, and we'll let the worlds collide, my friend, if you're interested. And we can talk about you getting in the Fantasy Showdown. For those that don't know about the Fantasy Showdown is lit. And let me give you a little taste of what I'm talking about.
ain't seen nothing yet. 96 owners.
Here you go.
I give you the fantasy showdown. If you thought the Throne League was big, you ain't seen nothing yet. 96 owners in this league. I'm putting 8 copies of each player into the player pool, which means your team will look just like a team in a 12-team league. The winner of this league is going to get an Amazon Fire 7. 8 times 12 is 96. If you throw 8 copies of every player into the player pool, each round will have 96 picks in it. I know that sounds crazy.
Okay, Ari.
But when you think about it, Christian McCaffrey will essentially dominate the first 8 picks. The draft hasn't happened yet. This is a graphic to show what it would look like, but this would be not even half of the first round. There's 96 picks in each round. This would not even be half of that first round. Look at how McCaffrey's going to dominate the early picks. Cook, Elliott. You're essentially looking at a combination of McCaffrey, Zeke, Barkley, Cook going from picks 1 through 32. It won't be until pick 33, 34, 35 you start seeing other names get into the mix. It's a total point race. You can't do a playoff with this kind of thing. A long draft with a 3-hour timer. The timer will be off at night.
Okay.
It's a redraft league. We will redraft.
For those of you new to the Fantasy Football Show, I do a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of innovative stuff. I invented the trade calculator in fantasy football, damn it. I did that in 2004 and everybody stole it. So I've been inventing crap in this industry for a long time. I created a 96 team, where's my focus? I created a 96 team league where 96 of us, it'll include experts, it'll include followers. All the followers will be from the Fantasy Football Show community, minus the followers that I allot to the experts out there to say, hey, bring 2 guests of yours, 2 of your followers to the ball, Cinderella. And so they come to the pimp ball with 2, 1, 3, 4 people, however many people I give. So Ari, he's the football expert on fantasy football expert on Instagram. He has a big community. He has like 70. How many people do you have, Ari? 70,000, 80,000. I'm gonna send him probably, I'd say the max amount I give to people, so like 3. Because he's a big community, and he could take 3 of his people with him to this league, and they all come in and they represent, and in their league handle, and it'll say Bob Miller, and then it'll be dash fantasy football expert. So he'll be representing expert. We got RSF 49ers is gonna have 3, and whoops, I gave away a surprise. They'll have 3, and basically the names will be there. So you'll know what community everybody's representing as you look at the standings. It's a total point league. There's no playoffs. So 96 of us will be in one division. And when you go to the league home, you will see 75, but it was dropped. I don't know if you're answering someone else's question. But 96 of us in one division, and you'll see who's the total point leader. The crazy part is I'm going to do, let's see if RS 49ers is live. Not yet. Let's see. Let me open up Skype in case he's trying to dial. So here's the catch. We're only going to have 3 bench spots. 3 bench spots. What's up, Ian? 3. That's going to create a strategy that is unheard of, that no one's played with. Everyone's going to be trying to maneuver their way through this approach and figure out, oh, this could work. There are going to be good players available on waivers. There will be no trading. There won't. I thought there would be no waivers, but I'm going to put a rolling waiver system in, I believe, to where if you never use it, you stay where you are or move up if someone uses their waiver pick. And it'll roll all year. It won't reset. It'll probably be either randomized or reverse of the draft order. I'll let you know on that. But I'm not doing a thing. I'm not commissioning anything. This is essentially I'm the commissioner, but this is a commissioner-free league. I'm not going to settle any disputes. There's nothing to settle. There's no trades. You drop somebody, that's your fault. I'm going to tell everybody that up front. There will probably be a no drop list that will be enabled, so you can't drop a big name player. But you drop somebody, your fault. I drop somebody, my fault. You can't set your lineup, too bad. You get auto picked, too bad. 2 auto picks in a row trigger an auto draft, your fault. You can pre-draft at any time. There's no reason for me to get involved in anything, and it's going to be completely amazing. Let's see if RSF 49ers is good to go. I don't see him yet. Okay. So I'm going to, as always, the top super chatter of the Saturday night show will get a spot in the league. So know that. Any super chatting obviously will create, a topic of debate, or it'll be at the forefront of the show right away. So super chatting is always appreciated, and I try and take care of you by answering your question right away. So if you have any, drop it. If any questions, drop it. We're waiting on RSF 49ers. Ari, if you want to go live later on in the show after, at the end or something, let me know. Just message me in the chat here so I know. And then if I hang up with Dr. Raj at the end, we can throw you on. You guys like the new mic? Do I sound okay? How's the audio? I think I'm going to stay out of this one. Ari says, however, I still promise it on my story, and I'll have a few of my followers join it. Good. And Ari, if you could put, like Prophet did, a clip of it. I don't know if you can screen record it or if you need me to send you a 60-second version or whatever. But if you put the video playing, it's a lot more responsive because people hear about it and they're like, damn, when you look at an image, they might not click on it. They might not think it's that crazy. So if you could put the video clip on there, that would rock. That guarantee. You put the video clip rolling, actually playing on your story, you get 3 spots to give away to your people. And Prophet already got back to me, Fantasy Football Prophet on Instagram. He told me that he's already gotten massive amount of people coming at him for those 3 spots, or 2. I think I gave him 2 spots. So Prophet is like, dude, people are already coming at me with it. All right, RSF 49ers, where are you at? Someone call an ambulance. Dr. Raj is late. Dr. Raj has never been late. Dr. Raj has never, ever been late. Something's wrong. We need to get on the phone. We need to call an ambulance. Send it over to the Raj's house. To House Raj. Thanks. Sounds good. Cool. I like this. Look at, watch. Audio on. Audio on. Computer, studio off. Later. Just kidding. Computer, studio on. Realist. Well, Realist, you have a good chance of getting a spot with me too if you're my followers, because in my follower group, because my followers are getting like 30 spots. So you can definitely try and get one from Ari, but Ari's going to go to his community, probably pick somebody he knows as his follower, one of his followers. So if you're one of his followers, that's cool. But you might want to try and get a spot for me, man, because I'm giving away about 30 to my followers and my people. So and the whole point is you want to have people representing you. So Ari's going to want to pick people he knows, ride and die with him, so that they can represent him in this league. So that if he or one of his 3 guests can win this league, it looks good for him because it came from his community. So I'm sure he's going to take somebody he knows has been following him for a while, but create a little debate for yourself. All right, let's get into the playoffs here until I get Dr. Raj on. I'll keep refreshing. All right, so here's the playoff. Bracket. So we obviously know that Houston won. So I'm gonna copy this bad boy and put that right here. And then, oh, I'm sorry, no. Tennessee's going up here because they're the 6th seed now. This screws up my bracket. So Tennessee goes up here because they're the 6th seed. The 6th seed automatically plays Baltimore. If the 6th seed lost, then let me. I'm screwing this up. Hold on. Let me paste this in. Okay, so Tennessee won, and Tennessee's moving on up here. Houston won and is moving on down here, which is crazy. So now we have to figure out this bracket. Who do you guys think is going to win this game? I think Tennessee obviously showed that they've got an amazing chance to really beat anybody on any given Sunday. Super chat from Colin Porter. I'm here for a spot in this total. In the total for the night for the highest single super chat. The highest single super chat gets it. Right now, you are the leader at $4.99, my man. You are the leader. Okay. So who do you guys have? Baltimore or Tennessee? Baltimore will steamroll Houston. Baltimore's not playing Houston. Baltimore is now playing Tennessee. And it's weird because everyone gets really confused about this because they're down here on every bracket because you kind of have to list it like that, right? But what happens is the worst team left plays the number one seed. The number one seed gets an advantage. They get to play the worst team, right, according to seed. Well, if New England won, they're a 3 seed. Then the worst team would be not a 3 seed. It would be a 4 or a 5. Bills are a 5. Houston's a 4. So Baltimore, that's why Baltimore would have faced Houston had New England won the game. It all comes down to that. Let's see where here's Dr. Raj.
What's up?
Hey, Dr. Raj. We're waiting for you on IG.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Hold up. I was behind. So wait, hold up. Let me get on this real quick.
Well,
Are you live on IG?
Yeah, we're live on YouTube right now.
Okay.
And so I was thinking that we just call you, or we join your live.
Okay.
And then after that, we jump on YouTube.
So go on live.
Yeah,
for a few minutes.
Yeah, just for a few minutes, announce some things and maybe give away a couple seats.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that. So how do you want me to give away the seats?
However you want, man. It's your thing. Remember this, that if you win, let me put Dr. Raj on screen real quick. I got him here, and I'm talking to him. You guys can't even see his mug. There's his mug. So if you win or your people win, it looks good for you. So you're going to want to pick some soldiers, man. But I definitely pick people that you know are your people that, you know, you can kind of trust. But go in your chat, you know, like so when we're live, you're going to have, what, 300-400 people in there, right, when we jump on?
Yeah.
So do you think you could identify a couple people that might be able to represent?
I'll probably, I don't know if just on this, I'll have to screen it through a process and have them send me their resume.
It's your 2 seats, man, or your 3. I'm going to give you 3 seats.
So I'll tell them that we're going to go do the live fantasy thing, you know, and I'll tell them, I'll kind of prep it up and say we're giving up three seats for it. So real quick, give me a little rundown of it again.
Okay, so 96 owners are in this draft, and 8 copies of every player, and it's 1 division, total points, no playoffs. Winner wins the whole thing. I'll have secondary prizes. I have an Amari Cooper signed jersey. I have a Fire 7 that I'll give the winner. But basically, 8 times 12 is 96, so you're going to have the same look and build of a 12-team league. So your team's not going to be like thin or anything. There's 8 copies of every player. So basically the first 8 picks will probably be McCaffrey. Maybe you'll get a Barkley or somebody in there. Basically, when you get to pick 96, the last pick in the first round, it will turn into the second round into pick 97. Now, it's a long draft. So
That's a very long draft.
It's a 3 or 4 hour timer. You can pre-draft, so you don't even have to be present if you want. You can pre-draft and say, I want to have, you know, you could pre-draft let's say you have pick 96. You can pre-draft basically McCaffrey, you know, all the guys down to like Julio, and then just, you know, wait and see who you got, and then you won't pick for days. You know what I mean? But it starts on the NFL Super Bowl Sunday, right when the game kicks off, our draft kicks off. So if you're watching the game, you don't have to worry. You have a 3 or 4 hour timer, and there's a good chance we might get through 4 to 8 picks a day. Maybe people are really quick, but if you're at pick 96 in the last pick in the first round, you might not pick for a week.
Wow.
So, and if you think it's too much to handle for you because you got a lot going on, you could always have somebody, one of your right-hand man manage your team or something like that. So you can decide that later.
I'll be able to take care of it, but yeah, well, I'll have to look into that. So what else are we discussing tonight?
Rookies if you want, 2020 rookies if you want, and then go over the bracket. I got it up here. Everybody's looking at.
The playoff bracket.
Yep, we'll do that. I got that up. It's ready to go. I got Tennessee 1. So that means they're going up to play Baltimore.
That's what I'll go. I'll go on my live and I'll say we're going to discuss the playoff games on your live show tonight. That'll probably draw them in, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, so we'll just – okay. I'll look for your live. I've got you on the iPad, so I don't know if you have a computer handy, but basically what I'm going to do is go like this. I'm going to hold this bad boy up to the screen, and everyone's going to see you doing your thing. Don't play any music, though.
No, I won't. I'm just going to keep it – straightforward.
But if you want to break dance or,
No break dancing tonight. We're on a bye week. We're resting up. We're resting the joints.
Okay. All right, I'm going to hang up with you here, and when you go live, I'm going to request in.
And then I'll come back on the YouTube show.
Absolutely,
after.
bro.
Okay. Cool.
Later.
Right.
All right. That's Dr. Raj, the man, the myth, the legend. For those that don't know, you pretty much got to know Dr. Raj by now if you watched the Fantasy Football Show. But he comes on. He's a doctor, physical therapist. He comes on and gives us all of our injury updates. He's become a staple of the Saturday night show. So we're going to put him on screen here. I'm eventually going to mount this bad boy right here or do something with a monitor, but this will work pretty well, I think. Like the show if you haven't. I got 12 thumbs up. Look at this guy. This is on SportsCenter. Oh, his neck. Oh, God. He's a Bills fan, of course. That's kind of how their day went. Started out great. Bills are in the lead. Bills lose the lead. Bills lose. Oh, man. Okay.
Bang, bang, Nana gang, what's good? Nana power, what's good? Bang, bang, Nana gang, what's good? What's good? So real quick tonight, I'm going to go on the Fantasy Football Show on YouTube. He's about to join. What's good, my man? The Fantasy Football Show is here. Bang, bang, bang.
What's up? Let me switch this around and see if you can see me. So you're yeah, what's up, man? So glad to have you on the show. Those that don't know Dr. Raj, man, I didn't think about this. How am I going to show myself to your audience?
Just show the sleeper you.
Yeah, okay.
Looks like George Kittle. We all know the man. Together. Just pretend he's George Kittle talking fantasy football, and that's what you got to know.
Okay, so I'll do this. Okay, so we are announcing a couple things, but first we're going to talk a little bit NFL playoffs. We're going to do a bracket. We'll go over on my YouTube show. You're going to jump on right after here. We'll go.
I got to talk about these games because I got a lot to say.
Yeah, we'll go on and we'll do the bracket. We'll kind of break down the bracket. Tennessee won, so now the brackets are kind of jacked up because everybody pretty much had New England winning. So now you're going to have. I didn't plan this out as well as I thought. It's good for YouTube, but for your people to see me, I'm like trying to. I'm trying to Kittle over the middle. Okay, let's see. How do I do this?
Real quick, before we go on to the YouTube show, real quick. So, let's tell them a little bit about the news about next season. We're doing a big-time fantasy football draft, 97 league, a team league, and he's giving me some seats on the league. So I'm going to be giving out some of these seats on the league to kind of help me out with the draft. We're going to have some teams. He's my boy. give me an ownership into this league. So you guys DM me through the year, and I'm gonna figure out who's good enough to take on to this big fantasy football draft. 97 teams. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. So here's the deal, real quickly, just so your people know me. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's 96 owners. And it's going to be 8 copies of every player in the player pool. That means 8 Christian McCaffreys, 8 Zeke Elliott's, 8 everybody. And 8 times 12 is 96. That means that we're going to have 96 picks in the first round. And the turn, like the bookend picks, you know, when you're like, oh, do you have the bookend picks? I have the 12 and 13 this year. Who are you going to take at the bookends? The bookend picks are 96 and 97. It's crazy. But because there's 8 copies of every player, your team will be the exact same build as a 12-team league. Your team won't be thin. You'll have the same kind of players available at your 96 pick as you would the 12 pick. I'm giving away 96 spots to this league. And the draft is the day of the NFL Super Bowl. The moment the NFL Super Bowl kicks off, we start drafting. The moment.
Crazy. So I know a lot of people think it's crazy, but it's actually going to be. He told me the whole idea. It looks pretty crazy. So if you guys want in, send me a message and we'll talk about it. I mean, I can't let everybody in. So the best of the best. Send me your fantasy resumes. We'll get it in, and we'll go from there. So
yeah.
It's going to be crazy.
Yeah. So you're, Dr. Raj, you're going to be manning your own team. You can have like your right-hand man help you with that team if you're too busy. I know you're a busy guy. But I'm giving you 3 additional seats to take to the ball with you. The Pimp Ball Bash.
Do it, baby.
Battle of, it's also coined the Battle of the Pimps. So.
That's right. Battle of the Pimps. And you know what? On Super Bowl Sunday, you know where we're going to be, guys. So
yeah.
Drafted live from Miami. But
Yeah. So, but here's the thing. People are like, oh my God. First of all, I don't get that many people that are like, hey, you're drafting too early. If you're drafting too early, this isn't the league for you. We don't want you anyways. If you can't handle, if you can't handle the fact that you might draft a guy that could get hurt, the same risk everybody has, then strategize a little better. Draft a guy that's not injury prone. Don't draft a guy that doesn't go down in the middle of the offseason. Injuries can hit anybody at any time. So too bad, so sad. There's also another caveat to or another, I'd say, crazy angle to this league. 3 bench spots.
All right, this is gonna be crazy. We'll
Three-
talk about it more on the lives, but like I said, we're gonna be having some spots open. So you guys message me. I'm about to go on YouTube with my boy Smitty. But before I do, bangbang.podcast. I need you guys to go follow that page, bangbang.podcast. Me and some of the OG Niner pages, 49er Global, Niner City, 49ers HQ. We started the 49er pages way back in the day. We're making a big podcast, live podcast, not like a regular podcast where you record it and you stream it the next day. It's gonna be a live podcast on Twitch and Discord, so people could come in and talk to us while we're doing the podcast. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, Dr. Raj, we need to get you a site up anyways. I'll help you with that. We'll get you something up anyways. You need to have.
Yeah, you gotta help me with this page.
Yeah.
We're going big time this offseason.
Yeah, I got you, man. We're gonna cook something up for you. But we're gonna go on YouTube right now, youtube.com/The Fantasy Football Show. So right now, if you guys want to see this man right here, this handsome mug on my YouTube show, which we're live right now on my show, we're gonna go over the bracket. We're gonna talk about Tennessee winning. Now Tennessee goes up to the top of the bracket to face the Ravens. When if New England had won, then that wouldn't have happened. You would have Houston playing the Ravens. But now Houston's going down to the bottom of the bracket. We're talking about it right now. And 2020 rookies. So who are your Niners going to take? We can even talk about that. What your position of need could be heading in 2020. Start thinking about that, Dr. Raj. Dial me up. I'm waiting for you.
All right, we'll be down in a minute. So you guys, real quick, before we go, Sleeper U, the fantasyfootballshow.com will go live. The podcast is bangbang.podcast. I posted it in my story. You guys go check it out.
Hey, we'll talk about that on my show. So yeah.
Okay, we'll go. All right, I'll see you guys soon.
Yeah, youtube.com/The Fantasy Football Show. Everybody here, come in there right now. Let's talk with Dr. Raj. Later. All right, so Dr. Raj is going to call up. I got to set that up a little better, but it worked good. It just wasn't like the right angle. What's up, Dr. Raj?
What's good? Bang,
So that
bang,
was really
nice
cool,
gang.
but the only thing is I hadn't figured out how your audience was going to see me right, so I got to figure that out next
I
time.
know. I was laughing. I was like, oh.
Yeah, but anyways, it worked out. I got the right angle right. It was really hard because I not only do I have to do the angle reverse on my screen, I'm trying to like do it reverse on Instagram, so I'm like going like this. It's
not
like
easy,
backing up a
it's
trailer
lot
with a truck.
to maneuver. So let's bring up this playoff bracket, man. I'm telling you, I was surprised that Brady and the Patriots lost. I really was, man. I really was.
Yeah. Let me move over a second. Fit it all on here. So I don't know if you have YouTube pulled up and you can see. It might be kind of helpful, but
yeah. Let me get my iPad.
Yeah, just mute it. But you'll have a 15-second delay, but at least you'll see what I've got up. So for again, those that don't know how the bracket works, because there's a lot of people are like, Smitty, you have the wrong team playing the wrong team. And I'm like, no, I don't. It's the 6th seed. If they win, they go play the 1 seed at the top, which happened. Tennessee shot up, and now they're playing the Baltimore Ravens. Yeah, crazy. I don't think they're going to win this game, but...
No, I definitely don't think so.
Yeah. Hi, in here, 49ers, baby. That's Marquise Smith in the house.
Baby, bang, bang, Niners,
Clouder.
bang.
Clouder's in the house for you, Dr. Raj, yelling Niner gang. Cole S. dropped in right now. You got 3 straight 49ers dropping in.
Go, Niner power, baby.
Bang, bang, Niner gang. Christian Charles is in. Nathan Lopez. You have literally 9 people just dropped in.
What we do, the Niner faithful are the best, man. I tell you.
But subscribe to the Fantasy Football Show.
Gotta
Do me that. Just hit that little subscribe button real quick. You know why? Because even if you don't like me, Dr. Raj comes on pretty much every Saturday, and at least during the season every Saturday. We're going to figure out a schedule, but he'll be on often. So you want to see his bug.
But you got to like Smitty. Smitty's the man.
Thank you, man.
You know.
I looked. Jimmy G was supposed to get in contact with me today on stories.
He was a busy guy today. He will be on. Don't worry.
Ben's in the house. Nick's in the house for you. Adriana is in the house. So you got like let's go Niners. Bailey's in here. Clouder, guys, hit subscribe. Follow us.
Good Niner gang.
Dr. Raj is in here every Saturday.
Without further ado, let's talk about this draft. I got YouTube pulled up, so here we go.
Okay, so Tennessee's now at the top of the bracket. Houston now, because Tennessee won, falls to the bottom of the bracket. They play the Chiefs, so we're going to have to redo this bad boy. You got Scarlett in here. Your Niner faithfuls rushing in. Okay.
I'm telling you, they're the best, man.
KC versus Houston. Do you have any reason to think that Kansas City is going to lose this game? I do not, but Deshaun Watson proved he's a comeback king, but I think he's also inconsistent. He'll do this, and the next game he won't.
Let's talk about this game, because after I watched this game today, I did not think – and after that first half, Buffalo had all the momentum. They had that game locked and loaded. They were running the ball. Singletary was doing good, and it would look like they were running away running away with that game. But Deshaun Watson, he played good. But the guy we got to talk about was J.J. Watt. This guy brought in so much energy to this team, like coming off of the torn pectoral, like my man Quan Alexander, who might be doing it. But he coming in off the torn pectoral, and he brought so much energy. If you watch that game, he was screaming, let's go, let's go, let's go, bringing in so much hype to this defense. I think that the Houston Texans can win this game, but I don't think they win this game. I think it's going to be closer than you think. Deshaun Watson is special. This guy's going to be great. It's going to be fun to watch Mahomes and Watson. Honestly, that's going to be a hell of a game. But J.J. Watt, man.
It is, but I think
good.
Yeah, I just think that I don't know. I just think I can't envision Pat Mahomes losing this game.
I don't see him losing because they got the home field, and at the end of the day, I think Kansas City is going to do enough to win. I think it's going to be close. And J.J. Watt, this is his first game back since October 27th with the torn pec, and he had a great game. You can't discredit that. But I do think that Kansas City has too much weapon to extra week. It's going to be tough. A wild card game, a wild card team coming on the road to win, the second game, it's not going to be easy for them. So I think Houston will play tough, but I don't like their coach because, honestly, he's made some bad decisions over the last years. Like, last year, they lose, 0-14 against the Colts. Last couple of years, they've had some bad games in the playoffs. And I don't see him getting it done enough to beat the Colts.
Okay, so let's put KC. We're in agreement here. We're putting KC moving forward against the Texans, right?
Yeah, I think KC, okay. But it's gonna be a close game, man. It's gonna be a fun game.
And Baltimore, we're in agreement there that the Baltimore is winning this game.
I think Baltimore is definitely gonna win that game, but I was surprised with Tennessee. I was so surprised. Listen to this, man. Derrick Henry, this man's a monster.
Yeah.
I mean. Jesus.
You see him stand next to his offensive lineman, anybody? He towers over everybody.
He towers over everybody. The guy was a monster. Like, Derrick Henry right now, I mean, if I'm in a dynasty league, I'm taking so much he just shot up every board I had.
But here's my question, and you're physical therapist, doctor. So this is why we bring Dr. Raj on. This is what made me like say, Dr. Raj, we need you on the channel, and he comes on every Saturday during the year. We break down the injuries the night before the NFL games on Sunday, so it's perfect when Dr. Raj comes on. So make sure you guys subscribe. At his size, though, do you worry about him staying healthy for more than like one more? So let's say he goes through all 2020 healthy. Do you think he has a shot at his frame with the way he's getting, hit, his aggressive style, at staying healthy for more than 2 more years after this year?
I mean, that's the thing. It's scary because he runs so hard. He inflicts pain on people. He's just a hard-nosed runner. Those types of guys take a beating. But this guy's I think he's as physical as he plays. He's got a big-time body frame. I think he could give you another 2 more years at least of high-quality play. And the way this guy is running is incredible. This guy has a motor like nobody's business. I'm buying it. I didn't think that until, the playoffs are another story. When he came out today and he pounded the Patriots down their throat, man.
Hey, man, changing directions is okay. That's part of fantasy football. So if people think, oh, you got to stick to your guns. If you didn't like Henry before that game.
Sometimes you change, man.
Yeah. And I'm not saying you didn't like him, but I mean, if you didn't, let's say you didn't like him and you like it, it's fine. It's okay to adjust and adapt. But you're telling me from all your experience with your professional, expertise that size doesn't worry you.
No, he's a monster, and I would just be happy to have him on my team.
I'm trying to think of other running backs with his frame that have made it 4, 5, 6 years at a
Jerome Bettis, maybe. I mean,
well,
Jerome
but yeah, he's kind of a different frame though.
Yeah,
I almost think like a Brandon Jacobs. I almost think like some of these guys that didn't last that we thought were going to last, and it just worries me. But Derrick Henry,
Henry's a monster. Even in college, he was one of the well-touted. I mean, he's just one of those power guys that came in, and you just see him. He just wrecks people. Mark Ingram, kind of big frame guy. He's been doing it.
I'm excited about him. So if I'm doing my fantasy rankings, I'm putting McCaffrey 1. You'd be crazy not to. Barkley's my number 2. Everyone ripped on that for a while, and now after Barkley kind of had a resurgence at the end of the year, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Barkley, he's my number 2." Barkley's number 2. Elliott's number 3. I think
I got Derrick Henry over Zeke Elliott,
and I'd be fine with that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with being bold. There's no one's rankings no one knows what's going to happen. That's the funny thing. I love when you go on Instagram, especially this because you're an Instagram machine. You have so many followers on Instagram, but when you post something and it's like a ranking of some kind. Now you're a little different because your entire crew is a 49er faithful. You could say that. Mostert's the number 2 running back in fantasy, and your guys would be like, "Yeah, of course."
Yeah, of course. I mean? Because we're all going to buy into the Niner hype. But
when you do a ranking like me, I could say Mike Thomas. I could go DeAndre Hopkins, and I could put Devontae Adams number 3, which is reasonable. Which is reasonable, right?
Yeah,
reasonable. Like you could have a different opinion on that, but it's reasonable to say Devontae Adams was that high heading into this year. He got hurt, and he looks really good right now. He's back on track. If I post something like that on Instagram, I can't tell you how many people come in and go, I can't believe you don't have him. That's what
happens, because I see a lot of these football sites and the football pages, not just fantasy, but they make these rankings. Like all the football pages, they make their little rankings, and we go crazy on it. Because if they don't have the Niners on it, we're like, hold on, why are you going to do that?
But
that's how it goes.
My point being that it's funny that if I was to rank Henry, let's say 3 or whatever, I'd have people... A lot of people would like it, but you'd have a lot of people saying, "I can't believe you're a moron." Like it's crazy. No one's going to be happy with anyone's rankings. If you have Henry number 2,
rankings are so arbitrary. They're so they're subjective. They're not objective. They're subjective. They're based on your opinions, and nobody's going to have this. Not everybody has the same opinion. Some people do. Some people don't.
If you have Henry 2, I'm okay with it. I don't rank it that way, but I would be okay with it. But for me,
I wouldn't have him 2.
Well, I'm just saying. I have McCaffrey, I have Barkley, I have Zeke Elliott, I have Dalvin Cook, then I have Derrick Henry. And that's going to upset some people. And then if I had Henry 3, it would upset some people. No one's going to be
go crazy. That would cause ripples. I have it as CMC, Barkley, Henry, and then Dalvin Cook, then Zeke. I know which people would think I'm crazy saying Zeke is number 5, but the reason I say it's because Dallas is a whole mess right now. We don't know the direction they're going. We don't know what kind of coach they're going to have. And at the end of the day, that whole team does not have an identity.
As
right now.
Grandpappy used to say, you could please some of the people all the time, and all the people some of the time, but you cannot please all the people all of the time.
Yeah, he's a wise man.
That's
that's
one of
good
the
thought.
why. Yeah, and yeah, that's how I feel every time I post on Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Instagram's another monster. I'm
Yeah.
on Twitter, and Twitter versus Instagram, I see it's so different. The two communities.
So let's come to an agreement here on the other side of the bracket. Then we'll finish up the Baltimore KC side. So New Orleans facing off against Minnesota. I don't see how New Orleans can lose this game. I think we've already talked about that. I think you're in
Yeah,
agreement.
we talked about it. I don't think Kirk Cousins has enough to beat Drew Brees. I think it'll be a high-scoring game, but I do not see Kirk Cousins having enough firepower to beat out Drew Brees.
Joel says Josh Jacobs. He's in the consideration for 6 to 10. No question about it, man.
Oh,
You
yeah,
can put him.
Jacobs definitely top 10.
Yeah.
Easy.
Good
I like that.
topic, Joel. Or Josh.
He's a great rookie. He was a great player this season.
Yeah. Okay. So now we have New Orleans going up to face the. I'm sorry. We got to decide this other game before I put New Orleans up. Okay. So Seattle is the 5 seed, and Eagles are the 4 seed. Because we have Minnesota not winning, that means that the highest seed is going to go face the 49ers because they are the 1 seed. So that means that New Orleans is going to come down and face Green Bay.
Yeah.
So that we're locking that in because we don't have Minnesota winning.
No, not yet. That's easy. I think we're both under the agreement that Drew Brees is going to dominate Kirk Cousins and they're going to beat him out. Yeah.
Okay, so now that we're back at the bottom part of the bracket, which is going to send the winner up to play San Francisco. This is the team that your 49er faithful are going to face off against. Who are you? I'm going to let you pick this one, and I'm going to let you talk about, I think, what, you already brushed on being a bold prediction here, so go ahead.
So I talked about this yesterday. This is my bold prediction, and I got Philadelphia beating Seattle. It's crazy. I know, it's crazy. Seattle they're definitely the better team. They got Russell Wilson, MVP, candidate, although, Lamar's probably going to win the MVP, but, Russell Wilson, Seattle, they've got the veteran coach and Pete Carroll. They got it all, but they're on the road, and they've struggled on the road lately, and Philadelphia is getting hot at the right time. To me, this is what I think. After today especially, it's not about who the better team is in the playoffs. It's about who's playing better in the playoffs, if that makes sense. The teams that are hot, you ride that team, and they usually win, like the Titans tonight. I didn't think the Titans were going to be Tom Brady and the Patriots. It's Tom Brady and the Patriots. But the Titans have been playing great, and the Eagles have been playing great lately. I think they're hot, and they're going to do enough to get this game. And they're at home. They get a home game. Philadelphia is a raucous crowd. I think they're going to do just enough to win a close game over Seattle. That's just my opinion. It's crazy. It's a crazy opinion. But.
Yeah. Okay, so we have Ari says Seattle versus the 49ers rematch. That's what he thinks. MT says those NFC matchups are juicy. Nicholas says Ertz is playing tomorrow.
Yeah, he's supposedly supposed to play tomorrow, so that's kind of, he's tough. I know I talk a lot about Kittle. He's the man. We know he's been playing through injuries all season. He's got a rib protector. He's got a broken ankle. He's been playing through. But, I got to give some credit to Zach Ertz because he's been playing through injuries too. He had some rib issues. The guy's going to suit up. It's the playoffs. This could be his last game of the season, but he wants to make the most of it. So I got a lot of respect for him. Ertz is playing.
Yeah. Let me put your hand. I didn't have your handle up when I switched screens here. Let me put your Instagram handle up. You guys want to follow this guy right here.
I think Miles Sanders is going to have a big game tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay, so we got Philadelphia winning that game. Are we picking New Orleans over Green Bay?
I think New Orleans is going to beat Green Bay. I think they got a lot of firepower. I think overall, Mike Thomas and Drew Brees and Kamara is going to be a little bit too much for Green Bay to handle. But it is in Green Bay. It is in Lambeau. It's going to be a shootout, and you can't count out Rodgers. That's going to be a fun game to watch.
Yeah, I mean, Rodgers is used to his kind of weather. Brees is used to a dome.
The dome, but I think New Orleans wins that, and it's going to be a shootout. You want to talk about a shootout? Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, for all the marbles, every marble out there, I think it's going to be Drew Brees in a close one, in a shootout. over Aaron Rodgers and the Packers.
Okay, I have a lot of your people in this room, so even if, and I agree that the 49ers are going to win this next game, no question about it, but I'd be crazy to to not just immediately cut and paste this 49er. There we go. I apologize I didn't do it sooner. 49ers are going to beat the Eagles. So I did this last night on IG, and I'd love to do it here again so people can kind of see what you're thinking. Everybody, I'm going to throw some scenarios at Dr. Raj and see what he would rather face if, he could choose for the 49ers. Now, granted, you probably want a good game, so it's not like you're looking for the easiest matchup. You probably want to beat.
I don't care who we play.
Yeah.
We're going to have to.
But who's going to be easier, this Philadelphia Eagle team facing the 49ers, or let's say it was Seattle?
You can't lie. Philadelphia would be an easier matchup. Seattle's tough. They've played us tough. Both games have went down to the wire, literally the last second of each game. Seattle would be a tough game. They're an equal opponent.
Okay, but tougher games. So you'd be happier. Well, I don't I don't know if you say happier, but if you were the coach, you'd be like, yeah, I'd rather face off against.
Oh, I'd be happier to play Philadelphia.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Would you rather face the New Orleans Saints in this conference battle or the Green Bay Packers
in the championship game?
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather play the Packers. Honestly, I think they're a beat. We crushed them the last time we played them. We absolutely dominated them. And I think we match up better with them. The Saints are tough. They got Drew Brees, like you said, Thomas, Morrow. That team, it came down right to the end. But I think that either one we beat. But I still think Green Bay would be an easier matchup.
Okay, so you'd rather face this New Orleans team or this Green Bay team instead of New Orleans. Okay.
Yeah, I guess so.
Let's play the game on the other side of the bracket, though, the AFC side. Actually, we'll do that when we get there. So 49ers versus New Orleans. This is going to be a tough one. I think it's going to be a tough game, regardless of whether you love the 49ers or not. Come on.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun game.
It's going to be tough. But because we have you on the show, no matter what, we're doing this. We're not even considering anything else. I am not crazy.
I'm not. Yeah, you can't do it. And why would I pick New Orleans over the Niners? Heck no, man. We beat them in New Orleans. We beat them. Game of the year.
I'm not getting in this boat. 49ers. Let's put them there. Okay.
just put them in.
Yeah. Here's the battle. Baltimore versus the Chiefs. Who is going to win this game?
It's a great game, man. It's a great game. Who do you think is going to win this game? I know who you think.
Dude, I love both these QBs. They're my number 1 and number 2 QB. I have Lamar over Mahomes heading into 2020 fantasy football, but honestly, I'm going to be okay if I get Mahomes a round or a round and a half later and feel like I have potentially still the number 1 player. Like they're neck and neck. So fantasy-wise, I love both. I think this is going to be a crazy game, high scoring. I'm making a bold prediction here, and it's bold, but it's within the realm of possibility given the season he has. But I predict that Lamar Jackson will rush for over 300 yards in the playoffs, in this 2020 playoffs, which means he'd rush for over 100 yards a game.
Doable.
Yeah, but I think he could do that. So Baltimore, I think is going to be tough to beat. You have, I think, a better defense overall. You have a really good rushing game, whereas Kansas City's been turning it on. Damian Williams has looked like the player a lot of people, including myself, thought could emerge in this offense all year long. And look what he did. Nothing. He disappeared, got hurt, vanished, didn't get the chance. Now Damian Williams looks pretty good. They might have a better running game than people are going to expect, but I think Baltimore's their running game's better. Their passing game is easily equal, if not better, at the moment. These tight ends are two of the best tight ends in the league. Obviously, Kittle, Andrews, and Kelsey are the best of the best. I think it comes down to defense on this. How much better of a defense do you think Baltimore has than KC, or do you disagree with that? But
you know what? And see, I've been looking. I think Kansas City wins this game. Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill. You got, and then you got Travis Kelsey. I think they have enough to win. And this is the thing. And I know a lot of people say Baltimore has a way better defense. I think Baltimore's defense is pretty good. You got Earl Thomas. You got the linebackers. They got a pretty good defense. But Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger for the Kansas City Chiefs, has been playing out of his head the last couple of weeks. He's been a game changer over the last couple of weeks. And and not a lot of people think the Chiefs, they don't associate them with good defense. For about 4 or 5 weeks there, especially when Mahomes was just coming back, the defense kind of carried them. They got Frank Clark there. They started to step up, and I think the Chiefs defense is better than people think, and it's going to be a close game, but it's going to be tough to stop Lamar. You can't really – that's the guy that no team has really been able to stop him. No team. He beat Kansas. He beat New England and stuff like that.
So,
but I think that the one team that's really held Lamar in check has been Mahomes and the Chiefs. So
for me, I check off all these boxes. And you know what? Bad on me for not using this exact advice when I broke down that New England Tennessee game. Because honestly, Tennessee checks these boxes almost more than New England. But you look at the running game, I think Baltimore's got him beat there. The passing game, easily equal. But you add in the dynamic of a running Lamar Jackson, and it's like, I don't know, do you toss that onto the rushing attack and say the rushing attack now annihilates the Kansas City Chiefs? Or do you say it's like a third component that the Chiefs don't really have because Mahomes isn't fully healthy? Tight ends are equal. Receiving crews are equal. Defense, I give it to the Ravens, but I can understand anybody making an argument for improvement, and you can't measure the difference of the defenses right now. But then you bring in the fact that it's home field advantage for the Ravens, and it's like you add all those things. Baltimore's maybe tied with a lot of those things, but they're not losing anything. And for me, I just don't see how. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is probably the difference maker if it happens. But man, I have the Baltimore Ravens going. We're at a deadlock here. I think because I'm going to give you the final call on the Super Bowl champion. I'm going to take the Ravens here and give you the final say on the championship.
Yeah, of course. And you can't argue with the Ravens. I mean, like I said, that's probably the smartest pick. Home field advantage, like you said, and their threat of the running game is better. And in the playoffs, run game and defense is the key. And with Lamar Jackson, they got the dual running backs because you got Ingram, who's pretty good himself, and then on top of that, you got Lamar Jackson, who can run all over the place. And it's hard to stop that guy.
Am I copying and pasting 49ers into the Super Bowl box?
Yeah, you are.
Okay, so 49ers, this is a bracket Dr. Raj and I do together. We have separate brackets that don't match this. This is a combined bracket. We have the 49ers winning the whole thing, going against the Baltimore Ravens. This, of course, comes with the knowledge that Tennessee won and Houston won. So we're doing like an update bracket, with half of the wild card games done. So if you guys play in a bracket that resets, or this will help you if you play in a bracket where it doesn't begin until the divisional battles, then this will help you, or if you can reset. So that's how we have it. So let's play the other game on the other side. Would you rather face, if you're the coach and you want an easier matchup, as easier as you can make it, would you rather face Baltimore or Kansas City?
Would I rather face Baltimore? I'd rather face Kansas City.
You'd rather.
Baltimore's tough, man. But if you give the Niners 2 weeks to prepare for Lamar Jackson, I think they can figure him out, but it's easier said than done. I mean, he's been hard to stop all season.
And let's be honest, the only time the 49ers really have struggled have been against running quarterbacks. Not that Mahomes
Wilson,
isn't a running.
Kyler,
I mean,
Lamar.
Kyler Murray and Lamar. But maybe that's a blessing in disguise. If you can figure this out, then you can really possibly shut down, Lamar. Whereas Mahomes, I think, he's going to be I love Mahomes. I can't wait to see Mahomes and Lamar develop because they're just getting going, man. This is crazy. Crazy how good these two quarterbacks are, and it's such a debate. Smitty, you are nuts. Baltimore is going to win the Super Bowl. Rico, I didn't decide it.
I'm the one that decided
I gave the road to the guest of the show, Rico. I didn't pick the 49ers. I'm not saying I wouldn't, because I wouldn't get in that boat with his crew right now that are swarming like sharks in the chat. But I didn't pick it. It was Dr. Raj getting the final say. I got to say that Baltimore would win that Kansas City game. Smitty is a very smart guy. Thank you, Marquise Smith. I am definitely not getting in it.
Starting World War III out here.
Yeah, I'm not an idiot. Okay.
I think I'm an idiot because I'm a Niner homer.
Would you much rather, so obviously you're going to rank Baltimore as the toughest, Kansas City probably as the second toughest. Would you say that Tennessee won't be a walk in the park, but it's more of like a formality if for any reason Tennessee is in the Super Bowl?
Oh man, if Tennessee goes in the Super Bowl, I'd be surprised. But
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm just trying to go over all the options.
yeah, I wouldn't say a walk in the park, but I
You
would
would
say
breakdance early, is what you're saying.
I'd be breakdancing the day that happens. So
Okay. Houston. How far off are Houston from like the Chiefs in terms of like your concern if you were facing them, versus?
I'm not too concerned with Houston. I mean, I love their quarterback is great. Watson's great.
He could run too. So
Hopkins amazing. They got some good players on there, but coaching to me is their downfall. They don't have a good enough coach. And I don't think he would be. I don't think he'd be able to prepare that team enough to beat any team in the Super Bowl. I think it'd be a loss.
Coaching is a big thing, and with a quarterback like Lamar and with a defense that I think the Ravens are going to step up defensively with a good enough defense as they have. And San Francisco having as good defense as they had, I think home field for the conference championship games is going to be the huge like
that's going to be huge.
Here.
The Niners, but the Niners have never played a playoff game in Levi Stadium, so this is our first year hosting games in playoffs. So I hope every Niner fan goes to this game. They want them to pack that stadium up because we need to have that energy. We need the crowd to be just crazy.
If I wonder what the odds are the Philly game. Now, Philly and Seattle, they're a 4 and 5 seed, so it's not that crazy. But
it's going to be a close game, I think.
I do wonder what the odds are on that.
I
think Philly. I'm with you, man. I have in my bracket that I already did. I have Seattle winning, but I'll be honest with you. I almost feel like I wish I could. You can't change it, but I wish I could go back maybe and go with the bold pick of Philly because I felt like Tennessee was that pick, and I didn't do it. I didn't follow through with it. Tennessee
I went back and forth on that Tennessee Patriots game, but I just couldn't put myself to say that that Tom Brady's going to lose in the first round of the playoffs. There's no way I thought he was going to lose, man. I was so surprised tonight. Like
Seattle's
when I watched it,
minus 1.5. That's not much. Seattle's minus 1.5 according to Chuck.
So it's a close game.
That's not that much.
What happened? The Patriots lost, man.
What happened to New England?
What happened to their defense? They have no receivers.
But what happened to their defense? This defense that people were willing to. Dr. Raj and I went live. I don't know what week it was. If you remember, let me know. But like week 6, 7, whatever it was.
Yeah, way back when.
And we talked about where would you guys draft the Patriots defense if we were drafting today moving forward. And it was like a unanimous first-round pick. Everyone was like, I would take the Patriots defense in the first round, which was crazy to me. I knew they were playing out of their minds, but I'm like, I'm not taking a defense that high. What happened to their defense? Like,
you know what I think, and this is what I said a lot of the times this season. So, first of all, I think a lot of it is by the end of the season, you're tired. Like, the Niners defense kind of slowed down too a little bit, and we were, we were killing it. Injuries kind of happened to us, but at the end of the season, you get a little tired. Those defensive guys get worn out. But not only that, if you look at the Patriots, you got to realize a lot of their games they played the Dolphins, they played the Jets, they played some easy teams in there, and that kind of made their defense look better than it really was. And I think that was a big thing, that happened to them. But you also got to remember, man, I think what happened to the Patriots was they had no receivers. I guarantee they missed Antonio Brown. They made the wrong trade for Mohamed Sanu. That was the wrong mid-season trade. And, N'Keal Harry being injured all season, he didn't really develop, so he's still playing catch-up.
I still really like N'Keal Harry, and a lot of people are going to just write him off, and that's fine
with
me.
I love him.
Yeah, I think when you look, A.J. Brown and N'Keal Harry were by far in January my top 2 wide receivers. They felt like Calvin Johnson material. Top of the, they could be top 5 fantasy wide receivers in like 2 or 3 years. Not right away, not out of the gate.
Yeah, they're both, I had A.J. Brown, I had Deebo Samuel, and N'Keal Harry. Those are my 3 guys. Mm-hmm. But like I said, with N'Keal Harry, he missed half the season with the injury. And as a rookie, to miss that much time by the playoffs, you're not developed to where you need to be. So I think missing that time really hurt him. And I'm actually kind of glad that he didn't do good yet because he's going to be a very big time sleeper next year.
Yeah, I can't wait for him to emerge. I only hope that he got like what he needs out of his rookie year to walk into 2020 as a true sophomore type feel.
I think he will.
Yeah, because he started to come. I mean, look at the 2 touchdowns he had. That one was called back when he scored. He dove into the end zone, and then he had that other score. I think he had three or whatever in the last few weeks, or at least he had the 2.
He started to play good down the stretch.
Yeah, he looked really good, and his situation's a little bit worrisome because you don't know what's going on with Brady. Will Brady be there? Will they have? But look, so here's back to my point. Full circle back to what I was talking about. I had A.J. Brown and N'Keal Harry as my top 2 by far wide receivers. Lit wide receivers walking into 2021, potentially 2020 as sophomores. And once A.J. Brown landed in Tennessee, I said, crap, I got to bump him down. Although, caveat, if something changes, if there's a QB situation, and I told people they could make a trade, there could be somebody on the bench that nobody sees coming. Kurt Warner came out of nowhere.
Yeah, you remember that?
One of the best quarterbacks in fantasy football history, if not the best in fantasy football history. It happened. So I made a caveat saying I'm dropping AJ Brown now because I feel like he's going to have a stunted growth, but he will eventually get there. He does have top 5 to 10 wide receiver numbers, but we got to pump the brakes on when that's going to unfold. What happens? Tannehill comes in, exactly like I was saying. That's what we needed because I didn't believe in Mariota, and Mariota sucks.
He does.
And boy, do they have a gem in Tannehill.
They found a guy right for that system. And it's crazy because, like you said, I almost dropped him. Like the week before Tannehill came, I was getting tired of him. I'm just going to drop this AJ. I was like, yeah, I'll keep him around. I didn't end up dropping him. And then Tannehill comes in, and he had a big game in Tannehill's first game. And I just was like, I'm going to keep him.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was like, oh, my God, I'm glad I kept him. And I picked up Tannehill, and that was huge, man.
And Tannehill, he's a free agent, but they're going to, I believe, lock him up because, or no, he has one more year.
You know they're going to keep him.
Yeah, he's one more year, but I think they're going to extend him. Let's see, does he have one more? I think he has one more year. If anybody can look that up, where's our guy that's doing all of our stats and looks up? He's our guy. Who was that? That was damn it, I forget. I think he's got one more year, but I think they'll extend him because, and I think he'll want that. He's not going to want to go elsewhere. Tannehill in Miami failed.
Yeah, he did.
He got a second chance. You normally don't get a second chance, and you normally don't thrive with your second chance. So he's not going to be looking to mix things up again and have to go elsewhere, jive somewhere else. He's going to be like, dude, I'm rocking it here.
He found his niche.
I don't care if I get less money. I'm signing in Tennessee. That's what's going to happen with Tannehill. I almost guarantee that he would turn down a bigger deal to stay and get his career going and keep it going because the momentum's there. He's jiving with A.J. Brown. He's got one of the best running backs in the league in Derrick Henry. They're flowing, man. And the fact that we don't even know. This story hasn't yet completely unfolded because my fear, and I don't know if I said this on our Instagram live. I forget where I said it. I think it was with you. My fear, I was almost hoping that A.J. Brown would fade into the night and go into 2020.
You were hoping that he wouldn't pan out because
I don't
now people are going to be on his name.
Yeah, I'm hoping, and I don't know what he didn't have a big game, but he has a chance to have a big game. Even if they lose in this next matchup, probably I think he could have like 70 and a touchdown. But if he has like 2 TDs and 100 yards, or he has some big game, it's only going to boost his value up a little more. And I already feel like out of all the players in 2020, and we're talking wide receivers, if there's that guy that could become, they see him coming, but I think he could be top 5 in fantasy football in 2020. Don't draft him there. Don't be an idiot and not use ADP to your advantage.
So A.J. Brown tonight, the Patriots defensively, they held up on the secondary. He had 1 catch for 4 yards. So, like I said, I told you that Tannehill wouldn't do much because he only threw.
10.
He had
10 complete.
8 for 15, 72 yards,
8.
Touchdown, interception.
Yeah, 8 passes. So that's a good thing in a way because I don't have A.J. Brown blowing up. But I hope that he does good because I want to see him continue to do well. I'm not rooting against him. I just don't want him to have more than like 70 and a touchdown because I want people to value him in the 4th to 5th round range, not in the 2nd or 3rd, where the risk starts to emerge and the upside and risk balance, the scales like, this. Instead of being like, here's the risk and the scale upside is heavy as hell. And then if you start seeing him climb like Godwin did, I went on YouTube, Instagram, everywhere in January, February, talking about how Chris Godwin was the biggest breakout in the 6 to 7 round range. You could get Godwin in the 6 or 7 round in best ball leagues. And then what happens? Coaching staff says Godwin's going to catch 100 passes in 2019. What happens? Godwin goes from a 6th or 7th rounder on ADP data all the way to the 3rd round.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
I don't want that to happen to A.J. Brown. I want A.J. Brown to stay nice and comfy in the 4 or 5 round range.
I think he will, because right now, like today, they rode Derrick Henry. 34 carries, 182 yards. I think they're going to keep riding him. But, I mean, eventually, I think they'll have a better game next week because they're going to have to pass the ball to beat Baltimore.
Yeah, I think they'll
Baltimore's got a good run defense, but, I mean, Derrick Henry, man, he's the type of running back that can really just stop any defense, make them tired, and open up a pass game. But they got to pass the ball a little bit more.
A question from Ramos. He wants to know, do you think there will be a Gurley situation this week, or this year? Sorry, this year. Do you mean, like, is there going to be a running back that completely fails everybody? And Gurley had a better year than I expected, but he's still outside the top 12. So he totally busted if you took him in the first round still, or if you took him in the top 15, he did not deliver. And that was pretty easy to see coming, although I was shocked that he stayed healthy all year because they used him they used him sparingly. He got the touchdowns, and I'm very disappointed that Darrell Henderson didn't get unleashed. I don't care what anybody says. Darrell Henderson has the talent. He just doesn't have a situation. I misjudged that. I thought Darrell Henderson would have a good year and emerge at some point, but they didn't use him, and that's my fault for not judging that coaching staff. I thought because they drafted him, they liked the guy, but stupid me. As far as a running back that could have a lot of danger, I think is what you're asking. I think, man, let me pull up my rankings on sleeperu.com and I'll tell you what I think, because I think there's definitely going to be some contenders here. In 2020, the risky running backs, I think, go as follows. I think Derrick Henry has a little risk only because people are going to draft him, in the top 4 or 5. So anybody that wasn't there the year prior that has been in the league a while, I think it's a little bit of a red flag to say, hey, there's a risk here, but could he deliver? Absolutely. Am I going to call him a bust? No. Am I going to tell Dr. Raj he shouldn't have him number 3 or number 4 on his rookie running backs? Overall running backs? No. He's there. I just have Dalvin Cook ahead of him, and I toy around with the idea of having Kamara and Henry at 5 or 6, and I don't know. Aaron Jones has a lot of risk because he's proven time and time again he can't stay healthy. He put on a lot of weight, usually not something that we like, right, Dr. Raj? If you're used to playing at a certain weight and you put on 10, 15 pounds of muscle, everybody gets all excited in fantasy football. It's a disaster almost 9 times out of 10. Look at Leonard Fournette losing weight. Whenever you change your playing weight, you're not used to that. You're Fournette, you need the padding, and you drop 15 pounds, 10 pounds, you now have less padding on a very aggressive runner. If you're playing at a certain weight and you gain, it oftentimes hurts you. But what I said in the offseason, because I had Aaron Jones in my top 10 bold predictions, I said he was going to be a top 5 running back, and I love the idea of him adding weight, which was very unusual for me because he had proven that he couldn't stay healthy at the weight he was at. So the only shot Aaron Jones had at staying healthy was to change his way, change his off-season behavior, work out more, and he was ripped. There's pictures of him, dude. He was so ripped, Dr. Raj. There's no way that weight was going to hurt him, in my opinion. It would only help him stay healthy, and he did. He stayed relatively healthy, but there's risk involved. Nick Chubb, a little bit of risk involved getting hurt. He was very, very overused this year. He's a bigger type runner. And then Leonard Fournette, overworked. A lot of risk there. Chris Carson, he got hurt at the end of the year. The Seattle Seahawks are without him this year. He's got risk. So it's a Carson, Fournette, Nick Chubb, and then just a little. I love Aaron Jones. I love Derrick Henry. I'm not avoiding them, but they have a touch more risk than I would like.
No, you're right. He definitely has a lot more risk because of the size and things like that. But I just have this. I feel like he's built different, and he's. I mean, man, this guy just runs. His motor is special. This guy's a special guy. I mean, for what he's able to do, he can pound it. And there's been some guys that have broken that mold, that they ran, and I mean, eventually they run themselves ragged.
Yeah.
But
MT, I like Henry. MT says I like Henry too. I'm not calling him a bust by any means. I'm just, you asked me what
no, he's just saying
the
that.
potential
I see what
risk.
you're saying. You're just saying that because of his size. I
Yeah.
mean, the way they use him, that he'll break down.
Risk is present.
Yeah, no, I see it, but I'm gonna ride that man for another 2 years at least.
You know what, Dr. Raj? I'm not avoiding him at all. If I'm sitting there at the 5 or 6 spot and he's there, and
I'm taking that man, and I'm gonna be a happy guy.
I'm grabbing him. So I'm not on the I'm avoiding Henry train at all, and because I'm not avoiding. Kamara has risk, but he could also have upside if he falls to like 7 or 8 or something like that, or 9.
Going on what you said with Henry, because honestly, I was in the same boat this offseason. Like, when I was going into the draft, I was like, I honestly didn't think Henry was going to pan up because they ran him like crazy last year. And I was like, oh, he's a 1-year deal. It was a 1-year wonder. He's not going to do it. He's not going to replicate his success. I was totally anti-Henry. That's why I'm like, tonight when I saw, I was like, man. And I've seen him through the whole season. I had him on one of my leagues. I traded for him. And just the way he played all season. And I was like, man, this guy is incredible. Just the way he runs so hard-nosed. He did it again this season just like he did last year. And I think next year he's going to do it just again. He's just going to keep putting up that numbers.
So 2 guys I want to mention that I think of huge appeal in 2020, but have also some risk. Kenyon Drake and Austin Eckler. So you have Kenyon Drake facing, first of all, he's a free agent. Let me put that out there. I did do a video and somebody said you didn't talk about him being a free agent. He is a free agent. He could technically go anywhere. I think the Cardinals will re-sign him. It's a weird year for running backs because there aren't a lot of like big time obvious vacancies like there have been in years past. There are a lot of, especially like in a range where you think someone might take a running back. But running backs fall so far these days in the 3rd and 4th round that a team that doesn't need a running back, even let's say Tennessee, they could take the 3rd or 4th best overall running back because the draft capital is low in the 4th and 5th round and they need a backup or something. Like if I'm a coach and I'm sitting at the 4th round, I'm like, we don't need this, we don't need that. We're looking at the 3rd, our 2nd ranked running back is still on the board. They could take that running back. Anybody can take a running back in today's running back climate in terms of the draft. But Drake, the Cardinals could take a running back. So the Cardinals could re-sign Drake and then see a running back, their 2nd running back on the board, fall to them in the 4th, 5th round, and they could take a running back and completely destroy Drake's value. So Drake has a lot of risk because you don't know what the Cardinals are going to do with DJ. I don't think they can necessarily afford to release him. Could he retire? I could see something like that happening. Could they trade him? Probably not. Who's going to trade for him?
Yeah.
So a lot of risk, but he has top 5 to 10 running back appeal given how explosive he was during the season. He had a 4 TD game near the end of the year, 2 TD game right after that. Guy's a monster. Nose for the end zone, but a lot of risk, but a lot of upside. I'd say equal parts. That scales like this.
Definitely. I think definitely there's a risk because you don't know if they're going to bring him back, if they're going to change their mind, get some. You don't know you don't know if he doesn't have stability. That's the word I was looking for. But I honestly think that Drake's going to be a big part of their future because he came in, they gave him a test run, and he proved himself. He earned himself a contract or whatever they got to do to keep him. I think he fits that offensive mold to the T with Kyler Murray. DJ, unfortunately, I think his best days are behind him. Injuries have caught up with him. I honestly think he takes an injury settlement and they get rid of him. He might have to take a cap hit, but he might be done.
Yeah, that would be interesting if they could get it. And here's my prediction here with Drake. Drake is going to level in ADP wise in the 3rd, 4th round right now, which is great value. If you're in a best ball league or you do best ball drafts, I don't know if you ever do best ball, Dr. Raj, but basically for those that don't know what best ball are, you draft and then your team's done. You don't manage anything. You merely look at it during the year. Your best lineup starts every week. So if you have,
I've done something like that.
So if you if you do best ball leagues and you can play and enter an entry fee and all that, if you do your draft early enough and you follow someone like me, Sleeper you, I focus on sleepers. I focus on getting those breakouts before anybody sees them coming ahead of the curve. The Aaron Jones is going to be a top 5, and then Aaron Jones is a top 5. If you're in a best ball league, draft Kenyon Drake in his late ADP that you'll have initially going into the offseason, because as soon as news breaks on DJ getting traded, retired, injury settlement, whatever, I feel like there's something bigger going on with DJ because when he was healthy, they weren't using him. And that was a weird thing to not have loyalty to a running back that has had such success like DJ. It was like they weren't, and they haven't been honest with us with DJ. You know, a lot of times during the year, they would be like, oh, DJ's going to play. Oh, and then the game kicks off and then he doesn't even play. So for them to hold back information wouldn't surprise me. But if anything breaks on DJ, watch Drake. And if they re-sign Drake, watch Drake go from third or fourth round value, we'll call it third round ADP, up to top 12 to 15 overall value. If Drake is the lone man, people will vault him up ADP wise. And that brings me to my next player, Austin Eckler. If Melvin Gordon goes elsewhere, we fully expect him to. He didn't want to be there to begin with, and he's finally going to be a free agent. Eckler, as soon as the news is official, he jumps from what I would guess right now, we don't have ADP data, third round ADP data, probably high third, into that same area, like 15 overall. What do you think about that prediction, ADP wise, and what do you think about the values if they were there?
No, I agree with it. I think you're spot on with those, and it's hard to make a judgment right now because there's going to be so many factors in the off season that go in. But I'm pretty much on the same boat with those rankings. I agree with it. I mean, you can argue a few spots here and there above or below, but I think that's kind of right on the money there.
Lewis says, great podcast. Thank you, Lewis. Appreciate it. Make sure you hit subscribe. If you're in here and you're a 49er faithful and you follow Dr. Raj in here, we left the door open for you as he transferred over from IG into here. Hit subscribe because you'll see him a lot on this show. He's becoming a staple. People request him. They want him on here. And I love having this dynamic and the injury talk with him because he is a doctor, which we had somebody question one time. Like,
that was the best, man.
Yeah, that was the best. Someone's like, you guys are doctors. What are you talking about? Like, yeah.
I had to flex on the haters.
Yeah, like, he is a doctor. Sit down, boy. Sit down, ass boy. But yeah, we were gonna do rookies for 220, but maybe we do 2020. Maybe we do that next Saturday and we call it a show.
Yeah, I think next Saturday we can work on rookies and so. Well, actually, next Saturday playoff game.
Yeah, true.
That's a busy day for me.
We'll do it maybe the next Saturday if that works. If not, we'll figure out another time. But next time you come on, we'll do 2020 rookies. We'll talk about ETN. We'll talk about Swift. We'll talk about DK Dobbins. These are the top 3 running backs. Which running back does Dr. Raj like best? And which one do I like best? You can find my answer on sleeperu.com, obviously. Yeah. But these are 3 really good running backs. And then there's other ones that are pretty decent that could, mix in there. And this wide receiver class has about I
was just thinking wide receiver. Jerry Jeudy declared for the NFL draft today, man.
Is he the next, like, Randy Moss? Like, what would you compare Jeudy to?
I'd probably say, like, the next Julio Jones.
Yeah, he's like, it's almost hard to compare. I don't think there is a comparable.
He's like a hybrid because he's kind of got, like, the size of a Randy Moss, and then he's got, like, the route running and the physical abilities of, like, a Jones. He's a
skinny, quick like Moss, a little smaller, but, like, has, like, almost like a I'm trying to think of I don't know, like a Devontae Adams feel and trapped in a Randy Moss type speed. I don't know. He's good.
He's crazy, man.
Judy's going to be good, but there are other wide receivers. Let me pull up my rankings real quick. There's some
good wide receivers out there.
We'll give people a little sneak peek of what we're going to talk about next. But we got so the top. I'd say the top. Let me pull it up here. The top 3 running backs by far to me are ETN, Dobbins, and Swift. You could have them in different orders. Hubbard, Chuba Hubbard is in the mix. Jonathan Taylor's in the mix. Cam Akers is in the mix. Zach Moss is like a forgotten guy right now, ranked so low. Benjamin out of Arizona State. There's a grip of running backs that I like. Joe Burrow at QB is he the next, like, top 5 QB without question, or is there reason to think he might be a letdown? I don't think so. I think he looks legit.
He's the real deal. He's the money man. He's going to be the next big quarterback in the NFL.
Oh my God! And I predict he goes to the Giants, and when the Giants get their hands on Burrow, I'm sorry, not the Giants. Sorry, I predict that Jeudy goes to the Giants. Sorry, Jeudy goes to the Giants.
Ooh.
Yeah. and they give Danny Dimes another wide
Danny
receiver.
Dimes, Jerry Jeudy, and Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Oh my
so
God.
Judy goes to the Giants. Sorry, I jumped back to wide receiver. I think Burrow. It's tough to know where Burrow is going to go. Does he go in the top 5?
Yeah, I think so. He's good.
Yeah. So Judy goes to the Giants in my prediction. Burrow, I don't know. Let's look at the top before I let you go. Let's look at the NFL draft order.
Yeah.
NFL draft order 2020. I gave some Danny Dimes owners a heart attack there. I'm like,
Yeah, I know.
Burrow,
I was like, what's going on? I was like,
Burrow to the Giants, Judy to the Giants. I think Judy.
Burrow goes to the Bengals, right?
Yeah. You know what? He'd revive any franchise he went to. He's that good. And if he did go to the Bengals, I think they've got weapons there.
They
I
got to
like
keep.
Boyd.
They better try and keep AJ Green if they keep him. But I don't know. AJ Green might want to go to a contender because he's getting older.
Yeah. Okay. So Bengals number 1 overall. They could take Burrow.
I think they take him. I think he's going to be the top pick of the draft.
Redskins
Gotta
won't.
go.
They won't. So do they trade down? You know, if Burrow's still on the clock. The Lions. That would be, man. I'm kind of liking that. Would they trade up? I don't even know if Burrow would last to the 3s, but it's tough to say.
Burrow. If the Bengals
Yeah.
don't trade their pick, they're taking that guy.
Yeah.
They're taking him.
Although, but if he didn't go at 1, he's not going 2 to the Redskins unless the Redskins trade. I bet you the Lions and
Redskins are taking Chase Daniels.
Yeah.
I think they're taking Chase Daniels.
Yeah.
I honestly think they're taking Chase Daniels.
I-
There's no way.
If
the Bengals don't take him,
I don't mind Burrow with the Bengals because I feel like Mixon is a good centerpiece for that offense. You know, to mix in with Burrow, I think it helps keep defenses honest. So it'll be okay. But I'd really like to see him land in Detroit with Kenny Golladay.
they're nice, but they got to trade up.
Yeah, but Judy, I believe Judy will last to the 4 pick to the Giants, and that's where I predict Judy will go. I believe Judy's going to go number 4
I think so
overall.
because the Lions need a wide receiver right now.
Yeah, Scott, I believe that Burrow will go number 1. I'm just talking about if they trade up. You know, if the Lions
They got
traded
Burrow.
up.
I got Chase Daniels. Who would the Lions pick? They got.
Would they take the other quarterback, Hubbard, or would they?
Yeah, I guess they probably would because you don't know. I mean, you got Matt Stafford, but you can stash the quarterback, groom him, and I don't know because Matt Stafford's getting paid a lot of money.
Yeah, but C.D. Lamb, we'll talk about him.
Ooh, I like CD.
I like C.D. Lamb a lot. Justin
do
Jefferson a lot. Antonio Gandy. Golden is a good wide receiver. That name is crazy. Gandy Golden.
He's good. I think the Lions, they probably go off a big time defensive talent because when's the last time you heard the Lions in defense? And I think they take a defensive player. And then I see what you say. I think Judy goes number 4 to the Giants. But.
Yeah, that's going to be. Can you imagine Judy? Like I hated when they passed on N'Keal Harry. I don't know how many times, 3, but didn't they pass on him 3 times? They passed on A.J. Brown, N'Keal Harry. They got rid of Odell Beckham Jr., took a quarterback that I admit now is a really good option. They did a great job scouting out.
They did a good job with him, yeah.
I like Danny Dimes. But they passed on Haskins. They passed on all these options. We thought that Danny Dimes was a bad pick, but then they didn't freaking take a wide receiver when N'Keal Harry and these wide receivers kept falling. And I didn't understand why they didn't pair Danny Dimes with a good receiver and have Barkley, that 3-headed monster, but they have a chance to do it this year. And if they have got Danny Dimes, they have Barkley, and they have Judy. The Giants are going to be a team to be reckoned with for a decade.
They'll be an upcoming team, but I honestly think they did it because they picked up Golden Tate. So I think they thought Tate was going to be a good veteran wide receiver to help Danny Dimes.
Slayton's good.
Yeah, Slayton's not bad. I think that was kind of like what they were thinking, but
Judy and
didn't
Slayton,
work out the way they did.
Judy, Slayton, and Ingram at tight end, and Barkley in the backfield with
Pretty nasty, man.
Dimes under center. The Giants are going to flip things pretty quickly.
They could, and in the NFC East, it's not that hard to.
Yeah, we'll get more into this in the next show. So I'm going to end it here, or I'm going to drop you off. Dr. Raj, say bye to everybody. And if you are a 49er faithful, Dr. Raj is giving away 3 spots to my league. I don't know if do you mind if I play this real quick, Dr. Raj, for you?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know if you've seen the video or if anybody's seen it, but here's this video.
The Fantasy Showdown. If you thought the Throne League was big, I give you the Fantasy Showdown. If you thought the Throne League was big, you ain't seen nothing yet. 96 owners in this league. I'm putting 8 copies of each player into the player pool, which means your team will look just like a team in a 12-team league. The winner of this league is going to get an Amazon Fire 7. 8 times 12 is 96. If you throw 8 copies of every player into the player pool, each round will have 96 picks in it. I know that sounds crazy, but when you think about it, Christian McCaffrey will essentially dominate the first 8 picks. The draft hasn't happened yet. This is a graphic to show what it would look like, but this would be not even half of the first round. There's 96 picks in each round. This would not even be half of that first round. Look at how McCaffrey's going to dominate the early picks. Cook, Elliott. You're essentially looking at a combination of McCaffrey, Zeke, Barkley, Cook going from picks 1 through 32. It won't be until pick 33, 34, 35 you start seeing other names get into the mix. It's a total point race. You can't do
Now
it
Henry.
with this.
But anyways, so I just want to show a little bit of that
This kind of thing.
Good
and
stuff, man.
and let you guys see it if you haven't. Let me turn this off.
Will be off at night.
Okay. Anyway, so 96 owners in this, 8 copies of every player, only 3 bench spots. So the strategy on this is going to be off the hook. There'll be so many good players on waivers, a rolling waiver system. So saving your waiver pick until you need it most is going to be awesome. And Dr. Raj gets 3 spots to take with him to this Pimp Bash Ball. Battle
crazy.
of the Pimps. I've got my pimp cane hanging here. You guys will be anointed pimps, all of you, and may the best pimp win. And you get 3 people to take with you to represent your brand. So you have 4 chances to win this 96-team battle.
All right.
and
You know what they say, though. Pimping ain't easy.
Pimping ain't easy, and I can't wait to see you give these 3 spots away and how you're going to do it.
It's going to be fun.
All right, Dr. Raj, I appreciate you,
All right,
man.
my man. Yeah, no problem. Have a good night, and enjoy the games tomorrow, man. I
Yeah,
just hope
can't wait.
Philadelphia win. I want my bold prediction to come true tomorrow. That's all I want.
Can't wait to get to it tomorrow, man. I'll talk to you later.
All right, my man.
Later.
Take it easy. Have a good night.
That is Dr. Raj, the man, the myth, the legend. Let me see if I can get. There we go. And if you're new to my show, hit subscribe. Keep coming back. Not only just to see that man that you just saw, because he comes in often. Comes in every Saturday, or has been. I don't know how we're going to do the off-season schedule, but he came every Saturday during the season. And we talked injuries, 49ers. So hit subscribe. Hit the like on your way out. Super excited to have all of you new people in the community. And to all my normal regulars, get ready for more Dynasty content. I'm cranking out Dynasty content like you can't believe. And get on over to sleeperu.com and get your membership. Dynasty content, 2020 content is off the hook. And if you guys play DFS, don't forget to get on over to mkf.win/Smitty. Enter promo code Smitty at deposit time and get your DFS going with these playoff games. There's no reason you shouldn't be doing some of these prop style contests they have over at Monkey Knife Fight. It's freaking amazing. mkf.win/Smitty. Get some. So back to this real quick as I close out the show. I appreciate every one of you. You guys make this show happen. Thank you, MT. Thank you, Marquise. Glad to have you, Marquise. I think you're new, right? You came from the 49er Faithful. Subscribe on your way out. Hit that thumbs up. Let's get to it. Thank you all. You guys rock. Oh, Colin with the super. Colin, email me right now. Actually, you know what, Colin, put your email in the chat real quick because you won the spot to the league. Colin, right here on screen, won the spot I was giving away tonight. Put your email in the chat. It will moderate it so it won't be visible to everybody else, but I will be able to screenshot it, and then I'm going to add you. Thank you, Lewis, for subscribing. I appreciate it. All right, Colin, I'm looking for your email. 49er Ben, thank you for hitting that like button and subscribing, my man. Marquise is subscribing. Thank you, Marquise. Also goes by Smitty, he says. And if you don't know my content, I do tons of. You got a super chat from Colin. Thank you, Colin. Colin, I'm looking for your email before I end the show. I'm going to drop Dynasty content, tons of it. I'm talking of like all the rookies, talking about what rookie I like the best, and we'll talk with Dr. Raj of what team needs the 49ers have if you guys are wanting to know that information. But I'm going to go over all the rookies in the coming episodes. I'm going to go over a mock draft. I'm going to do a 4-round mock draft for 2020. I'll do a 4-round Dynasty and a 4-round redraft. I'll do some ADP data stuff coming up here as soon as we get that. I'm going to pretty much try to put a video up every day. Okay, Colin, I got your email. Colin, welcome to the ball. Colin, I got to anoint you. All right, Colin. Colin, welcome to the Battle of the Pimps, my man. Colin, everybody give Colin a round of applause. We need the soundboard up. Round of applause. Where is it? Wrong button. Stop laughing at Colin. Huh? Stop laughing at Colin. This is for you, Colin. Colin won a seat at the Fantasy Showdown tonight. Congrats, Colin. Later, guys.